Living in Sunnyside Estates wasn't my top choice, but its location suited my commute perfectly, and the walking trails offered an excellent setting for Maverick, my service dog. Maverick is a stunning golden retriever who assists me in handling my PTSD episodes from my military service abroad. He's exceptionally well-trained, always dons his service vest during outings, and obeys commands flawlessly. I'm thoroughly familiar with the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's crucial when you depend on a service animal, but I never expected to have to reference federal law to my HOA president. The first encounter with Karen Whitfield involved her clutching a clipboard and sporting a perpetual scowl. She introduced herself as the HOA president in a tone implying I should be odd. "I don't recall approving a dog in this community," she remarked, eyes narrowing at Maverick, who sat motionless beside me. I courteously clarified that Maverick was a service dog, not a pet, and thus exempt from pet rules under federal law. She snorted, grumbled about people exploiting loopholes, and strode off. I should have seen the red flags then. In the ensuing weeks, I got 3 distinct notices for supposed infractions: my grass exceeding the limit by a quarter inch, my mailbox in an incorrect black hue, and my trash bin visible from the road for about 45 minutes post-pickup. Each bore Karen's ornate signature, topped with a smiley face that seemed more menacing than amicable. I adhered to all, avoiding conflict, but sensed these minor issues were merely the start. At the HOA meeting, Karen suggested a new regulation mandating all animals, service ones included, to register with the board and wear HOA-sanctioned tags. When I spoke up, noting this violated the Americans with Disabilities Act, she interrupted, asserting federal laws don't supersede community guidelines. Several neighbors appeared uneasy, yet none voiced opposition. Post-meeting, Karen whispered to me, "If you want to make this hard, I can make it hard too." Her breath reeked of coffee and menace. The next weekend, I was relishing a serene morning on my porch, Maverick at my feet, perusing the newspaper, when Karen's shadow loomed over my lawn. In her typical khaki shorts and polo, she held a spray bottle. "Your dog is breaching the new pet rule without proper HOA ID, she declared loudly, drawing neighbors' attention. I calmly reiterated that Maverick was a protected service dog under federal law, and the HOA couldn't demand special tags. Plus, the rule wasn't even active yet. Her face flushed crimson. "I'm fed up with you military folks acting superior," she snapped, stepping toward my yard. "If you won't follow, I'll deal with it myself." Before I could respond, she directed the spray bottle at Maverick and doused his face with liquid. Maverick yelped, retreated, and pawed his eyes. I sprang up, positioned myself between them, and demanded the bottle's contents. "Just a vinegar-water mix," Karen smirked. "It won't harm him, but perhaps it'll teach respect for authority." I was furious, but my military discipline kept me composed. I brought Maverick indoors, flushed his eyes well, and confirmed he was fine. The solution irritated his eyes, but no permanent harm occurred. Once Maverick was settled, I contacted the police. "911, what's your emergency?" the dispatcher inquired. I reported the attack on my service dog, emphasizing interference with the service animal as a federal violation. The dispatcher noted details and dispatched officers. 20 minutes later, 2 officers arrived. I detailed the event, displayed Maverick's service certification and training papers, and indicated Karen's home opposite mine. One officer took my statement while the other interviewed Karen. From my window, I saw her gesticulating wildly, her face twisted in outrage. The officer looked unmoved. Upon returning, the officer said Karen admitted spraying Maverick, but insisted she was upholding community norms. They had advised her that tampering with the service animal is a federal crime under the Americans with Disabilities Act, with hefty fines and possible imprisonment, plus state animal cruelty charges. They were arresting her and asked if I'd press charges. Without pause, I agreed. Karen was handcuffed and led to the squad car, yelling about evicting me and turning the neighborhood against me. Neighbors emerged to watch. One murmured, "She's finally crossed the line." Another neighbor later apologized for silence. "We've all been cowed by her too long," she confessed, eyeing Maverick, now calmly attentive again. The legal proceedings advanced swiftly. Karen faced charges of service animal interference, animal cruelty, and harassment. Her first court date was dramatic. She appeared in high-end attire with a flustered attorney as evidence piled up. The judge was firm, stressing community rules never trump federal disability laws. Pending trial, an urgent HOA meeting convened. I attended with Maverick. Surprisingly, almost all homeowners appeared. The vice president proposed a no-confidence vote in Karen's leadership, citing her risky behavior risking community liability. The vote was unanimous. Karen was ousted immediately. Someone had prepared new board name tags, Karen's notably missing. The criminal case ended with Karen pleading guilty to lesser charges to avoid extended jail. The judge imposed 30 days in county jail, a $5,000 fine, 200 hours of animal shelter community service, and required disability rights education. As sentencing proceeded, Karen's expressions cycled through shock, fury, and realization. "But I was just enforcing rules," she weakly objected as the bailiff neared. The judge retorted, "The paramount rule, Mrs. Whitfield, is respecting national law protecting service animals and their handlers." As Karen was escorted to start her sentence, our gazes met in court. The arrogance defining her was absent, replaced by humility from facing unbreakable laws. She mouthed what might have been, "This isn't over," but we knew it was. Maverick sat posed beside me, the epitome of service dog professionalism. I scratched his ears, he leaned in, a subtle bond strengthened by the ordeal.